I think James Gunn's Superman is exactly what the world of cinema needs at this point in time. Yes, I am specifically talking about James Gunn's version of Superman and not any other version. I say that because the fact that a lot of people want an aggressive Superman like Henry Cavill and say that Superman is boring says a lot about us as a society. It says that we need help because we can't see a hero for what they stand for. The day we start glorifying the jaded, darker version of ourselves is the day I start to worry. Or say that the day that we start glorifying anger and violence is the day we, as a human race, needs help. We're heading in the wrong direction in a lot of ways during this present generation, and we desperately need someone to guide us. And yes, I am not a hater of Henry Cavill's Superman by any means, and being a lifelong fan of Superman, I cannot hate any version of the character. And yes, Henry Cavill's Superman had moments where he felt like the traditional Superman from the comics, especially during the epic flight scene from Man of Steel with that larger-than-life background score by Hans Zimmer. Watching that scene still gives me goosebumps and motivates me like nothing else in the world. But what I mean to say is that in a decade fraught with divisiveness, economic hardship, and mental health issues galore, it seems fitting that the true Superman ripped straight out of the pages of our childhood comic books return to the big screen and acts as a savior for every one of us. To me, from whatever little footage I have seen of this version of Superman, I can say that he embodies the idea that hope and altruism can always prevail over cynicism and negativity, that no matter how difficult things get, there is always a way out and a light at the end of the tunnel. Superman is important to me because he's reassuring. He reassures us that even if things seem bleak and hopeless, everything will be okay in the end and that you're never really alone. He reassures us that people are still inherently good and is a shining example of how good a person can be. And even though I have not seen enough of this Superman, the shots from the trailer where this little kid holds on to hope that Superman will save him and Kal-El rescuing this little girl is something I feel like I have been missing in the character's portrayal on the big screen since the era of Christopher Reeves. Now, before going further, I am going to request you, all my beautiful viewers, to spend 1 second of your time to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel if you want more such contents over here. Okay, now let us get back to the main topic again. The best part about this movie for me is that I feel like it is not going to shy away from getting very dark, and showing the world is a mess, and the superheroes populating it right now are anything but shining examples of goodness. And people are angry and distrustful of heroes, so we see them tossing trash and debris at Superman and rejecting him. But Superman, despite the hatred he receives, still puts his all into the job and does what he can to inspire hope in a dark world. And others see it, like the kid planting a Superman flag while there's death and war around him. That's what I want from this movie. It should be dark and moody. But Superman is the one that, for lack of a better term, brings the color back into it. As a matter of fact, that is exactly the reason why Superman is such a potent symbol of hope, is because he is a contrast against the grittiness and pessimism that others exude. The original Christopher Reeve movie showed Metropolis as a typical grimy taxi driver-esque 1970s city, full of jaded, disillusioned residents until Superman makes his spectacular debut, rescuing Lois from the helicopter accident and then flying all over Metropolis, saving cats in trees, stopping robberies, and saving the president on Air Force One. And then Metropolis goes gaga for Superman, falling in love with this beacon of hope. Smallville also did a great job showing pre-Superman Metropolis as a cold, bleak place dominated by Luthor Corp and organized crime until Clark starts working there regularly and lifting the city's spirits. Superman's surroundings can be bleak to show the contrast when he overcomes the darkness and teaches others how to do it in their own lives. Now, I admit to the fact that hope and optimism in dark times is also exactly what Zack Snyder did. Despite his altruism, the Senate didn't approve of him intervening in calamities on foreign soil. He was just a dude trying to do the right thing while society was debating him being God or devil. So, I think that the idea or intention might be right there, but the execution was not there. But Henry Cavill, constantly wearing the mopey, constipated expression, his Superman reveled in the destruction rather than doing his best trying to prevent it, when the destruction is played to the point of ridiculousness, with Superman doing nothing in his ability to prevent it but more Dragon Ball-style fighting, it is hard to believe he is the figure of hope and optimism. And the rejection of the audience, plus the eventual cancellation of everything Snyder-related, is an indication of the movies being poorly executed. From all accounts, James Gunn just seems to get it when transforming comic book stories and characters into live-action films, and his sense of humor is equaled by his flair for the dramatic. He's basically a genius, and DC could not have hired a better guy to run the franchise. I mean, look at the Suicide Squad, Peacemaker, and Creature Commandos. Everything we saw from this world so far is a bunch of disgraceful things made by a-hole people, some of this a-holes being kind of good, most being awful. The world within the DCU looks a lot like what is going on in our actual world, so this movie, although just a movie, can act like a healing touch and a source of joy and hope and happiness and love for people all over the world. As a matter of fact, most modern-day comic book movies are primarily about some larger-than-life, multiversal event and stuff, which has very little influence directly on the common civilians, which makes this upcoming movie even more special. It is because James Gunn's Superman is probably the first superhero movie in years that is going to be relatable and something which involves saving the common people and citizens of different nations across the world. In conclusion, Superman should embody the kind of hope that motivates a dying man to fulfill his wishes before his time and live a graceful life filled with love for whatever little time he has, and most importantly, cling on to hope that he might just survive and beat the odds. And that is exactly what James Gunn's Superman movie so far seems to embody and bring back Superman to his roots, which is so great to see. So, that is all I had to reveal in this video. If you agree with what I had to say in this video, please do not forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.